So, a day ago, the announcement for the OLED model released, and I'm just going to share my thoughts on it because I feel like that. I just want to share my thoughts really. Um, I do think it's completely understandable to be excited for this, especially considering the fact that you don't necessarily own a Switch. That's completely fine and a-okay, and that's really the only way I can see a justification in buying this. But my problem with this, and a lot of people have vocalized about this, but I'm going to say it anyways, is the fact that it is, other than the small improvements, it's basically the same Switch. And my issue with that is the fact that we still don't have a fix for the Joy-Cons, and the fact that, again, I might be over exaggerating here, but it can be sort of compared to the PS3 and Xbox 360 in terms of power. To me, it kind of adds up to me just not liking the announcement. I don't expect 4K. Let me just clarify. I don't expect 4K. I really don't. I think that is so stupid. Expecting a portable device to have 4K, I don't believe that's not a possibility today. I really don't. But I think it was definitely a possibility if they could have just, you know, made it at least a bit more stable in the 30 FPS range, or hell, would be what would be even better at the 60 FPS range. Not all games have to be 60 FPS though, because I know Breath of the Wild, but yeah, but it just, I don't know, man. I just feel a bit empty, you know. Um, and another thing is that a lot of people still defend Nintendo for having the Joy-Con drifts, Jesus Christ, drift, and just fucking, I guess they also defend like the uproar when Nintendo doesn't really give a fuck about people, and I guess I don't know, man. I just, you have people, I guess, overreacting to some extent of the announcement trailer on both ends. You have people that are just going wild, that are just going absolutely ballistic, and then, like, with absolute rage and telling everyone that, you know, they should go die in a hole if they ever get this. Then you have the other side where that people are really just sucking Nintendo's dick, basically, um, for stuff that shouldn't really be in Nintendo Switch, like drift and fucking really, really outdated power in terms of power and shit, you know. Um, it's fine if you like it. It's completely fine. I understand that, but I feel like both ends are overreacting to some extent, and I do feel like it's kind of I do think it's justified for people to criticize the fact that this got announced. um, I saw another YouTuber fucking video commenting on this, and they sort of had a similar opinion. But yeah, even RT fucking has sort of a similar opinion. But yeah, I don't know, man. Nintendo has a good history of people just defending the company to its wheel. Like, I mean, that's really for all gaming companies as a whole, but like, it's especially apparent for Nintendo. And I just don't like that. I don't like the fact that people, remove the wheel to criticize Nintendo. Um, and I guess I don't know, man. I don't know. um, it feels just I don't know. It feels like honestly, this is such a diverse thing. Even though there's a lot of likes, I think if there was a middle like thing, I think a lot of people would just be pressing this instead of the like button. But I just yeah, I feel like a lot of people are just overreacting at both sides, and I just feel like that we should be allowed to criticize. Mind you, I think the other side as well is like, you know, overreacting because people are just fucking like some people are just gone completely insane because of this and just being absolute dickheads to one another, and that's not really okay. What I'm trying to say is it would just be better off if people both sides understood each other and met a middle ground to some extent, but that's the internet. That's never going to happen on the internet, and especially with Nintendo, it's just yeah. I like the Switch. I do. I like the Nintendo's exclusive games, especially the Zelda series. My favorite series from them, but it is what it is. I'm not too excited about this. I have my critiques on this, but at the same time, I'm not going fucking ballistic. I'm sort of like, I have my critiques. I had my reasons for just disliking this in the first place. But even then, I'm just sort of neutral. Like, my feelings and my emotions are just neutral. I just don't feel anything from this announcement. I didn't even feel anything like when it first got announced. I just sort of just stood there and just asked myself in my head, why? That was legit the only reaction I had was just, why? So, it is what it is. Um, I'm definitely not going to get this. um, Once they eventually have some sort of upgrade, which I really do think it will eventually happen in the Switch's lifetime. Mind you, like they plan on making the Switch last to 7 to 10 years, so I honestly do think we're going to get some form of a Switch Pro during that time span. But I also, I guess, would like to point out that it is just a model. It's called a OLED model. So it's not necessarily a new console, but you can like let's be real. They it is separate from the Switch, so I don't know. I still count this as a new console. That is subjective, obviously, but I still count this as a console and like a new console, and it's just yeah, it's just a bit. And you know what's funny? I think that it's funny that the 3DS's upgrade was more significant than like it had more upgrades than the Switch, which is just Logic 101, folks. And then, obviously, there's another issue, I guess, is the fact that so many people have voiced this, but again, the online is just fucking terrible. And they just don't want to fix it. I think if you were going to announce this, I think the better way for you to do this, I would have still criticized it, but I think a better way to do this is to just, fix the initial big problems with the Switch, with the online, with, Joy-Con drifting, and just, any other miniature problems before you announce a new model. And honestly, that can go for an actual Pro announcement as well, because it's ridiculous that they are completely forgetting about the fact that those two problems exist. So, do you want to know the reason why I don't really play the Switch that much compared to most other consoles? It's because of the issues I generally have. The issues I pointed out in this video is just because of performance, the fact that there's Joy-Con drift, and the fact that online is shit. It sort of mixes together into just me not playing it. Which sucks, but it is what it is, Oh well. Okay, that's it. I'm done talking about it. It's been 12 minutes. I really should stop talking about this. But yeah, this is gonna be a quick upload. I'm not even gonna do a thumbnail. But yeah, it's fun. It's completely fine if you generally enjoy the announcement and that you generally enjoy getting a Switch, even if you already have one. That's completely okay. But please don't disregard people's opinions about criticism towards this, because I think it is justified, and I don't know, to some extent. I still think that it was a little bit too overboard, but I still think that the criticism is valid and justified. I just wish I just wish the internet made a middle ground. That's the internet for you, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to do nothing for the rest of the day. I'm probably going to play some VR and shit, but yeah. I will say one thing, right? The model looks slick. I will say that, and the stand is really cool. Ethernet is a thing now on the Switch. It should have been there since day one. I'm sorry, but that's just not. It's not acceptable. But yeah, the stand is, and I guess the enhanced audio and just the design is really the only things I have to say that are generally quite cool. Not in the sense that it's worth getting it for those features, but generally, I just like the style of this. Like, look at this. It just looks good. Compared to the regular Switch, honestly, this looks so much better. And considering the fact that the next gen is mainly focusing on the white colors, especially the PS5 and the Series S, yeah, it just looks nice. Honestly, it really does. But again, it's not worth it if you already have a Switch. At that point, you're either getting it for a collector's item or just really want the upgrade despite kind of wasting it. kind of wasting your money on it when you already have a Switch. Again, that's fine as well, but That's it. Okay. I'm gonna go and have some brekkie and don't die from starvation. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.